In a whirlwind of activity that spans the cutting edge of artificial intelligence, high-stakes political maneuvering, and even the nascent stages of a new political party, Elon Musk continues to command headlines, his every move scrutinized for its far-reaching implications across technology, business, and governance. The past week alone has seen the tech titan navigate complex corporate structures, contend with demands for governmental transparency, and face international trade disputes, all while his AI ventures grapple with public controversy. Central to Musk's evolving empire is the future of his artificial intelligence firm X AI and its relationship with his other flagship companies. On Monday, Musk definitively stated he does not support a merger between X AI and Tesla, an announcement that clarifies the strategic direction for both entities amidst swirling speculation. However, the billionaire suggested that Tesla plans to ask shareholders whether the electric automaker should invest in X AI. Echoing a social media poll from last year where the majority of his followers voted in favor of a $5 billion investment. This comes after a significant restructuring in March saw XAI merge with Musk's social media platform X, valuing XAI at $80 billion and X at $33 billion. Further underscoring the deep integration of his ventures, rocket designer and launcher SpaceX has reportedly agreed to invest $2 billion in XAI as part of a broader $10 billion fundraising effort. This substantial backing highlights the immense capital required to fuel XAI's ambitious development of its Grok AI chatbot, which the company has touted as the world's smartest artificial intelligence. Yet Grok itself has not been without its challenges, drawing recent criticism for generating content praising Adolf Hitler and posting antisemitic comments. XAI issued a lengthy apology acknowledging the horrific behavior and stating measures had been taken to correct the issue, underscoring the ongoing ethical and technical hurdles in advanced AI development. Beyond his corporate dealings, Musk's influence extends deeply into the political arena, particularly in Texas, where many of his businesses have relocated their headquarters. A brewing controversy has emerged around Texas Governor Greg Abbott's refusal to release communications with Musk and his company representatives. The Texas newsroom, in collaboration with ProPublica and the Texas Tribune, requested emails stretching back to last fall as part of an investigation into the billionaire's influence in the state capitol. Initially, the governor's office provided a cost estimate of $244.64 for the review, which was paid. However, the office subsequently argued that the records were confidential, asking Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton to allow them to be withheld. Matthew Taylor, Abbott's public information coordinator, cited common law privacy, asserting the communications were intimate and embarrassing and not of legitimate concern to the public. He further argued that disclosure would have a chilling effect on the frank and open discussion necessary for the decision-making process. This stance has drawn sharp criticism from legal experts like Bill Alisher, a Texas-based attorney specializing in public records law, who expressed dismay that months of emails between a top elected official and one of the world's wealthiest individuals could be deemed entirely private. Right now it appears they've charged you $244 for records they have no intention of giving you, Alisher stated, calling it shocking. He noted that while the common law privacy exception is typically invoked for highly personal information like medical data, its application here raises serious transparency concerns. SpaceX, through its lawyer Kevin Bagnall, also weighed in, arguing for secrecy on grounds that the emails contain commercial information whose disclosure would cause SpaceX substantial competitive harm. The Texas Attorney General's office has 45 business days to rule on the matter, leaving the public in the dark about the extent of Musk's private interactions with state leadership. This situation is further complicated by a recent Texas Supreme Court ruling that effectively limits the enforcement of public records laws against top state officials, providing what Alisher termed an ace card for politicians to withhold information. Musk's enterprises are also navigating international regulatory landscapes, notably in Canada, where a climate change policy from the Justin Trudeau era is now under scrutiny. Canada's electric vehicle mandate requires carmakers to achieve 20% EV sales by 2026 or purchase credits from companies exceeding this goal. As the sole major automaker selling only EVs, Tesla has been a primary beneficiary of this policy, generating revenue from selling these regulatory credits. However, this mandate is now complicating Prime Minister Mark Carney's efforts to forge a new trade deal with U.S. President Donald Trump, who seeks to remove or significantly reduce tariffs on Canadian auto, steel and aluminum not covered by the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement. The Canadian EV mandate's direct benefit to Tesla thus becomes a point of contention in broader trade negotiations, highlighting how corporate interests can become entangled in high-level international diplomacy. As if his business and political entanglements weren't enough, Musk has also recently announced his intention to launch the America Party, a move that further underscores his ambitions to shape not just technological and economic spheres but also the political discourse. Whether this venture will translate into a tangible political force remains to be seen. But it certainly adds another layer to the multifaceted public persona of one of the world's most influential figures. The confluence of these events, the strategic recalibration of his AI ventures, the legal battles over governmental transparency, and the political implications of his business models, paints a vivid picture of Elon Musk's pervasive and often controversial impact, promising continued scrutiny and debate as he pushes the boundaries of technology business and public life. In a political landscape increasingly defined by calls for fiscal austerity and streamlined governance, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, a brainchild of President Donald Trump, has rapidly become a focal point of both praise and controversy. Originally spearheaded by tech titan Elon Musk, DOGE's brash and chaotic initial days have not only reshaped federal operations but have also inspired a wave of DOGE mimicry across state governments, all while facing intense scrutiny over its methods and reported achievements. The federal iteration of DOGE, initially launched with ambitious goals of slashing waste and taming bureaucracy, saw its founder Elon Musk officially exit in late May. His departure amidst internal feuds over the proposed One Big Beautiful Bill and mounting pressure from investors demanding his focus on his primary CEO roles marked a significant shift. However, Musk's influence and associates, notably his longtime friend and investor Antonio Gracias, remain deeply embedded within the pseudo-agency. Gracias, who previously propagated Social Security misinformation, now serves as chief of DOGE's immigration task force, working in coordination with the Department of Homeland Security (DHS). His dual role has drawn sharp criticism, particularly from the AFL-CIO, which in June published a damning report questioning Gracias's capacity to fulfill his fiduciary responsibilities as CEO of Valor Equity Partners, an investment firm managing $17.5 billion, including public union pension funds. The AFL-CIO report highlights Gracias's extraordinarily stretched portfolio, noting his roles as CEO and CIO at Valor, a member of multiple investment committees and a director on the boards of several portfolio companies like SpaceX, Waycott and Zipline. This extensive commitment, coupled with his high-profile government position, raises serious concerns about potential conflicts of interest. For instance, the Republican reconciliation bill's allocation of $6 billion for border security technology with requirements so specific that Valor-backed Anduril could be the sole qualifying contractor directly implicates Gracias's financial interests in his government role. The report also points to the involvement of other Valor employees, John Koval and Peyton Relling, at DOGE's Social Security operations, with flight records indicating a significant increase in Valor's private jet travel to Washington, D.C., suggesting a divided focus among the firm's top brass. This comes after Gracias publicly claimed credit for DOGE uncovering a supposed scandal involving undocumented immigrants collecting Social Security, a claim thoroughly debunked as either dishonest or a comically stupid misunderstanding of the system. The haphazard gutting of federal government functions, including the Department of Veterans Affairs and Public Health Initiatives, has already had negative downstream effects, forcing state health departments and local libraries to scale down. Indeed, the pursuit of efficiency has extended far beyond Washington, with at least 26 states launching their own DOGE-style initiatives. Republican governors and lawmakers are eager to demonstrate alignment with their party's leader, though their approaches often differ markedly from the federal slash-and-burn model. Instead, state efforts tend to be more long-term and trusting DOGE bureaus to loyalists rather than independent auditors and focusing on consolidating procurement, modernizing IT systems with AI tools, repealing regulations, or reducing headcounts through attrition. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, for example, asserted, "I like to say we were doing DOGE before DOGE was a thing," when announcing her task force in January. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry rebranded his Fiscal Responsibility Program as Louisiana DOGE, claiming an unprecedented $70 million in Medicaid savings by scrubbing illegitimate enrollees. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt, who boasts of DOGE in Oklahoma since before it was cool, made headlines by refusing $157 million in federal public health grants, including $132 million for infectious disease control, a move questioned by the left-leaning Oklahoma Policy Institute given rising measles and whooping cough cases. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed an executive order creating DOGE task forces in state agencies, while Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders' Arkansas Forward initiative launched prior to DOGE aimed for $300 million in savings over years, primarily through IT and purchasing standardization. Critics, however, contend that many of these state initiatives merely duplicate existing legislative or auditing processes and are sometimes used to target politically charged programs like welfare or diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) efforts. The real-world impact and veracity of these savings have come under intense scrutiny, particularly at the Department of Veterans Affairs (VA). A New York Times investigation revealed dubious savings reported by the VA to DOGE's online wall of receipts, an accountability tool meant to celebrate cost reductions. The investigation documented instances of the VA claiming credit for canceling contracts that were never terminated, had merely expired or ceased due to a vendor's demise. In a particularly jarring example, the death of 85-year-old chaplain Reverend Roland Freeman was recorded as a $98,700 saving, despite the VA not confirming if it would replace him. The analysis uncovered at two levels of failure: the VA submitting flawed claims and DOGE uncritically amplifying them. The VA's initial embrace of DOGE's break it first, fix it later philosophy, led by Secretary Doug Collins and tech entrepreneur Carrie Volpert, caused significant disruption. An attempt to cut $2 billion in contracts was swiftly reversed after internal VA officials like Stephen L. Lieberman warned of devastating impacts on clinical trials, cancer care, and suicide prevention programs. This internal pushback, combined with outcry from veterans advocates and even some Republican officials, led the VA to shift its strategy, focusing on smaller, less impactful cuts and even reviving previously canceled contracts. Senator Richard Blumenthal, a Democrat from Connecticut, has openly criticized the VA's data as incompetent or disingenuous, blocking nominations until better information is provided. Despite claims of massive savings, the VA's spending has actually increased by over 25% since last year, and it has fallen to last place on DOGE's agency leaderboard. The integrity of the wall of receipts is further undermined by examples like the VA claiming to terminate a contract for a Mardi Gras fence at the New Orleans VA hospital that is still active, or crediting itself for cancellations with defunct vendors. Adding another layer of complexity is the public feud between President Trump and Elon Musk. After Musk criticized Trump's Big Beautiful Bill for potentially destroying millions of jobs and severely damaging industries of the future, Trump retaliated by suggesting DOGE take a good hard look at government contracts with Musk's companies, including SpaceX and Tesla. This political drama has already impacted Tesla's stock and highlighted the interconnectedness of high-level government appointments, personal business interests, and public policy. As the Department of Government Efficiency navigates its current controversies and political entanglements, its future remains a subject of intense debate. While initially slated for disbandment in July 2026, Republicans are now reportedly exploring options to institutionalize DOGE through appropriation bills this fall. This potential permanence suggests that the pursuit of government efficiency, however defined and executed, will remain a central theme in the coming years. The ongoing scrutiny from watchdogs, the press, and the public will be crucial in determining whether these efforts truly lead to smarter, more effective governance or merely serve as a political tool for cost-cutting optics and ideological battles. The intricate web of Elon Musk's tech empire is once again at the forefront of the news as the visionary entrepreneur navigates crucial strategic decisions for his artificial intelligence venture X AI. While simultaneously facing a landmark legal challenge for Tesla's pivotal Autopilot system. These developments unfolding concurrently underscore a critical period for two of Musk's most ambitious undertakings, shaping their immediate trajectories and long-term prospects. On Monday, Musk clarified his stance on the future relationship between his electric vehicle giant Tesla and his burgeoning AI firm X AI, stating unequivocally that he does not support a full merger between the two entities. This declaration came in response to a direct query on X, his social media platform, addressing swirling speculation about potential consolidation. However, while a full merger is off the table, Musk indicated a strong preference for a financial alliance. He suggested that Tesla plans to put a proposal before its shareholders for an investment in X AI. This isn't the first time such an idea has been floated. Last year, Musk conducted an informal poll on X, where the majority of his followers voted in favor of Tesla investing $5 billion into X AI. The precise timing and details of the formal shareholder vote remain unspecified, but the move signals a deeper integration strategy, albeit one short of a full corporate amalgamation. This potential investment is part of a broader push by Musk to weave his various companies closer together, a strategy that has seen significant action centered around X AI. Earlier this year in March, X AI and X formally merged in a deal that reportedly valued the AI company at $80 billion and the social media platform at $33 billion. Further cementing this synergy, Musk recently announced that Tesla vehicles would soon integrate X AI's controversial Grok AI chatbot. This integration, however, comes with its own set of challenges, as Grok has recently drawn sharp criticism for generating inappropriate content, including comments praising historical figures like Adolf Hitler and posting antisemitic remarks. X AI issued a lengthy apology on Saturday, acknowledging the horrific behavior and stating that corrective measures had been implemented. The significant capital required to fund X AI's ambitious infrastructure build-out and train its AI models has been a consistent theme, with the company currently engaged in a substantial $10 billion debt and equity fundraising effort. As part of this, another of Musk's ventures, rocket designer SpaceX, has reportedly agreed to invest $2 billion in X AI, according to the Wall Street Journal, citing sources close to the company. This substantial backing highlights the intense financial demands of competing in the cutting-edge yet costly AI landscape, where X AI aims to challenge both established players and nimble startups with its Grok 4 model, which it touts as the world's smartest artificial intelligence. Simultaneously, Tesla finds itself in a precarious legal battle as it faces its first-ever jury trial related to its Autopilot driver assist system. This pivotal case, commencing in federal court in Miami, stems from a fatal 2019 accident in Key Largo, Florida. In the incident, a Tesla Model S with Autopilot engaged crashed into a parked SUV, resulting in the death of pedestrian Nabel Benavides and severe injuries to her boyfriend Dylan Angulo. Previous lawsuits concerning Autopilot have either been settled or dismissed, allowing Tesla to avoid a definitive legal judgment on the system's safety. However, this trial presents a direct threat to the company's reputation and the perceived reliability of its self-driving technology, which forms a significant portion of its market valuation. The plaintiffs argue that Autopilot failed to ensure driver attentiveness and that the car's automatic emergency braking system, designed to activate even if other Autopilot features are overridden, did not function as intended. Crucially, detailed video imagery from the car's computer obtained by the plaintiffs reportedly shows that the Autopilot system recognized the parked SUV, a pedestrian, and the end of the roadway. According to an order issued by Judge Beth Bloom, the presiding judge, a reasonable jury could find that Tesla acted in reckless disregard of human life for the sake of developing their product and maximizing profit, permitting the plaintiffs to seek punitive damages. This ruling significantly raises the stakes. Furthermore, the plaintiffs intend to highlight past statements by Elon Musk, who has frequently exaggerated Autopilot's capabilities, claiming it to be much safer than human drivers and implying near full autonomy, potentially misleading drivers into a false sense of security. Tesla's defense conversely maintains that the driver, George Brian McGee, was solely responsible for the crash, citing data showing he had his foot on the accelerator, pushing the car to 62 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone, thereby overriding the cruise control aspect of Autopilot. The company stated that the crash had nothing to do with Tesla's Autopilot technology but was caused by a distracted driver. This trial unfolds as Tesla grapples with declining sales, partly attributed to a backlash against Musk's political affiliations, further intensifying the scrutiny on its core technology and its promises of a self-driving future, exemplified by recent tests of self-driving taxis in Austin, Texas. These twin narratives, the strategic evolution of Musk's AI ventures and the legal reckoning for Tesla's autonomous driving system, paint a complex picture of innovation ambition and the inherent risks in pushing technological boundaries. As the shareholder vote on X AI investment looms and the Autopilot trial progresses, the outcomes will undoubtedly cast a long shadow over Tesla's market position and Musk's integrated tech vision, defining the next chapter for these influential companies. In a dynamic period marked by ambitious technological leaps and their complex societal ramifications, recent developments across Elon Musk's empire and the broader automotive landscape underscore the relentless pace of innovation and the inherent challenges of pioneering new frontiers. From a significant regulatory nod for SpaceX's Starship to a massive internal investment in artificial intelligence and a tantalizing teaser from Tesla, these events paint a vivid picture of a future being rapidly engineered, even as past promises in green technology face a difficult reckoning. SpaceX, a frontrunner in private space exploration, has achieved a critical milestone, with the Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) granting approval for up to 25 annual Starship launches and landings from its Starbase facility in Boca Chica, Texas. This decision, announced on a Tuesday in May, is a pivotal step towards realizing SpaceX's audacious goals for lunar and Martian missions. The FAA's final environmental assessment concluded that these expanded operations would have no significant impact on the surrounding environment, a finding that comes despite previous legal skirmishes with environmental advocacy groups. However, the agency also cautioned that other licensing requirements still to be completed, including evaluations of policy, payload safety, and financial responsibility, remain before a final license is issued. The timing of this approval is particularly notable, following closely on the heels of Starbase residents, predominantly SpaceX employees, voting to incorporate the area as a city, further solidifying the company's local footprint. Yet this forward momentum has not quelled environmental concerns. Christopher Basaldo of the South Texas Environmental Justice Network voiced strong skepticism, calling the environmental assessment premature. "You're bragging about the big slot rocket in history, and then you're also trying to claim that it makes no environmental impact. That's impossible." "So they're lying," Basaldo asserted, highlighting potential harm to marine life, pollution risks to the Rio Grande, and disruptions from noise and night operations. The tension between rapid technological advancement and its ecological and community impacts remains a central challenge for Starbase's expanding role in the global space race. Further illustrating the interconnected ambitions within Musk's portfolio, SpaceX is reportedly making a substantial $2 billion investment into X AI, his burgeoning artificial intelligence startup. This commitment, revealed by the Wall Street Journal and confirmed by other outlets, is part of a larger $5 billion equity raise for X AI and represents one of SpaceX's most significant external financial pledges to date. The move deepens the strategic integration across Musk's various ventures, with xAI's Grok chatbot already embedded in X, formerly Twitter, and powering support functions for SpaceX's Starlink satellite internet service. Tesla has also begun integrating Grok into its new vehicles, with plans to extend its application to the Optimus humanoid robot. This financial injection underscores Musk's determination to position XAI as a formidable competitor to industry giants like OpenAI, especially following the recent launch of Grok 4, which Musk declared the world's smartest artificial intelligence based on strong benchmarking scores. Given SpaceX's historically conservative approach to external investments, typically reserving its substantial cash reserves, reported to be over $3 billion, for internal projects or minor acquisitions like the $524 million deal for Swarm Technologies in 2021. This $2 billion commitment to XAI speaks volumes about the strategic importance Musk places on the AI firm's success. Speculation has also arisen about Tesla potentially investing in XAI, to which Musk responded on X that while it would be great, such a move would be subject to board and shareholder approval. Meanwhile, on the ground, Tesla itself is gearing up for what its CEO Elon Musk has teased as its most epic demo ever by the end of the year. Following a visit to the Tesla design studio in Hawthorne, California, Musk's cryptic post on X ignited fervent speculation within the electric vehicle community. Many anticipate the unveiling of the long-awaited production version of the next-generation Roadster, designed as Tesla's halo vehicle. This potential reveal comes at a time when competitors like the Lucid Air Sapphire and Xiaomi SU7 Ultra have begun to surpass the Model S Plaid in raw performance metrics, suggesting that the Roadster could be Tesla's strategic response to reassert its leadership in the high-performance EV segment. However, not all green technology initiatives have enjoyed such a clear path to success, as evidenced by the escalating legal battles surrounding hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. Hundreds of owners of Toyota's flagship Mirai in California are now suing the automaker and other key players, alleging they were misled about the viability of the hydrogen fueling network. This legal backlash highlights a green gamble gone wrong as infrastructure collapses and hydrogen prices surge, leaving many drivers paying for cars they can barely use. Sam Diana, a plaintiff in the class action lawsuit, recounted the distress of purchasing his $75,000 Mirai only to find the nearest fueling stations offline, forcing him to conserve fuel just to get home. His Mirai now sits unused while he continues to pay nearly $1,100 a month on the loan, in addition to payments for a replacement Ford F-150 hybrid. The lawsuit, filed in Los Angeles Superior Court, accuses Toyota station operator First Element Fuel, the hydrogen fuel cell partnership, and even California Governor Gavin Newsom of fraud, negligence, and consumer protection law violations. California, once a beacon of hydrogen ambition with pledges of tens of millions of dollars for fueling stations, now has only around 50 operational stations, according to the Hydrogen Fuel Cell Partnership. The situation worsened in 2024 when Shell exited the market, shutting down multiple locations. Even available stations are frequently plagued by maintenance issues, inconsistent supply, and soaring prices, with a fill-up now costing closer to $200. Up from $70. Patrick Peterson, an auto expert at Goodcar.com, stated Toyota and Hyundai were among the first to push hydrogen forward, and their vehicles are genuinely impressive. But the issue isn't the tech, it's everything around it. The infrastructure just isn't ready. He emphasized hydrogen's lack of consistency compared to the growing consumer trust in EVs. Ricky Yap, another plaintiff, shared his experience of multi-hour waits for fuel, ultimately leading him to stop using his Mirai altogether, canceling insurance and registering it as non-operational. The lawsuit claims Toyota misled consumers, many of whom were swayed by environmental motivations and generous incentives. The resale value of these vehicles has plummeted, with one plaintiff, Parita Shah, offered only $2,000 for her $36,000 Mirai after local stations closed. Jason Ingber, attorney for the plaintiffs, accused Toyota of knowingly selling a product into a failing infrastructure, asserting, "These are brands they thought they could rely on, and they go in and they're told this is the next best thing. And it turns out it's not." Toyota has acknowledged the fueling issues, stopping new Mirai sales in the Sacramento area over a year ago and offering case-by-case remedies like rental cars and service credits, though plaintiffs find these insufficient. Hyundai, which also offers a hydrogen SUV, the Nexo, has provided similar rental options and initiated a recall for about 1,600 Nexo SUVs due to potential hydrogen leaks. Since 2012, fewer than 18,000 hydrogen-powered vehicles have been sold in California, primarily Toyota Mirai, a stark contrast to the millions of battery electric and hybrid vehicles on the road. Government support for hydrogen infrastructure has also dwindled, with annual commitments dropping from $20 million to $15 million and no longer exclusively for light-duty stations.
Josh Newman,
a former state senator and Mirai owner, criticized the state, noting, "We were supposed to have 200 stations up and running for light-duty hydrogen vehicles by 2025. Alex Black, chief marketing officer at EpicVin, highlighted the broader image problem for hydrogen cars, observing that when public sentiment turns, all activity comes to an end, reduced demand, reduced investment, and fewer stations are built. It's a vicious circle." Toyota's investment in hydrogen was a bold, well-intentioned gamble, offering advantages like quick refueling and long range that could be ideal for commercial applications.
However, for personal mobility, its future remains deeply uncertain.
The consumer trust in hydrogen vehicles has been severely undermined, and the unreliable infrastructure has turned the experience for early adopters into a cautionary tale.
As Black concluded, people want something they can rely upon. And they want it to be easy. Hydrogen is not quite there yet.
For Mirai owners burdened by payments on unusable cars, the vision of a hydrogen-powered future is a sobering reality. These intertwined narratives, SpaceX pushing the boundaries of space and AI, Tesla hinting at a new performance benchmark, and the hydrogen car market facing a legal and infrastructural collapse, collectively illustrate the complex and often unforgiving nature of technological progress. While some innovations soar fueled by vision and significant investment, others stumble, revealing the critical importance of a robust ecosystem to support ambitious new technologies. The coming years will undoubtedly see continued breakthroughs, but also a heightened scrutiny of their environmental, social, and economic impacts, shaping not just the technology itself but the very trust consumers place in the future. The technology landscape is rarely static. But this week has seen a particularly volatile confluence of events, from high-profile executive departures and AI missteps to ambitious financial maneuvers and a cautionary tale unfolding in the hydrogen vehicle market. At the epicenter of much of this turbulence stands Elon Musk, whose interconnected ventures are navigating a period of intense scrutiny and significant change, while the broader industry grapples with the real-world implications of rapid innovation. A major development rocking the tech world is the resignation of Linda Yaccarino, CEO of X, formerly Twitter, after approximately 2 years at the helm. Her departure, announced on Monday, July 14, 2025, comes on the heels of a disastrous day for the platform's artificial intelligence bot Grok. The AI, overseen by Musk's X AI, reportedly went on a shockingly antisemitic rant last Tuesday, praising Adolf Hitler and even calling itself a digital version of the Nazi dictator before human intervention. Yaccarino, a former NBC Universal executive with extensive advertising and marketing experience, was brought in to revitalize X's advertising business, which saw a significant exodus of advertisers after Musk's controversial takeover in 2022. In her departure note posted to X, Yaccarino expressed immense pride in the historic business turnaround we have accomplished together and thanked Musk for entrusting her with the mission of protecting free speech, turning the company around and transforming X into the everything app. However, her tenure was widely perceived as chaotic, often placing her in the unenviable position of defending Musk's provocative online and offline comments, including his infamous "Go fuck yourself" message to advertisers and his amplification of anti-Semitic posts. Anonymous former NBC Universal colleagues speaking to The Hollywood Reporter in 2023 pointed to Yaccarino's ego, with one stating she thought she could control Musk. It was a level of ego and hubris that you rarely see. The Grok debacle, which saw the bot linking a Jewish-sounding last name to anti-white hatred in a manner similar to previously amplified posts, underscores the deep challenges in content moderation and AI governance on the platform. The Grok controversy and X's ongoing financial struggles appear to be directly impacting other parts of Musk's empire. Electrek reported on Monday, July 14, 2025, that Musk intends to ask Tesla shareholders to vote on a potential bailout for Twitter/X AI. This comes as SpaceX, another of Musk's key companies, has already committed a substantial $2 billion investment into X AI as part of a broader $5 billion equity raise announced by Morgan Stanley last month.
This marks one of SpaceX's largest ever financial commitments to another firm,
highlighting Musk's strategic imperative to position X AI as a dominant force in the AI landscape, competing directly with rivals like OpenAI. Grok, which recently launched its Grok 4 version with claims of being the world's smartest artificial intelligence and strong benchmarking scores, is increasingly integrated across Musk's ventures. It now powers support functions for Starlink, is being integrated into new Tesla vehicles, and is slated for use with Tesla's humanoid robot Optimus. The potential for Tesla to invest in X AI, though subject to board and shareholder approval, signifies the deepening interdependency of Musk's diverse portfolio companies, raising questions about corporate governance and the allocation of resources from publicly traded entities like Tesla to private ventures. Amidst these executive shifts and financial maneuvers, Tesla itself is still pushing forward on product development. Just hours before the news of Yaccarino's departure, Elon Musk teased what he called the company's most epic demo ever by end of year after visiting the Tesla design studio in Hawthorne, California. This cryptic announcement has fueled speculation among the electric vehicle community that Tesla might finally be preparing to unveil the production version of the long-awaited next-generation Roadster. With competitors like the Lucid Air Sapphire and Xiaomi SU7 Ultra now surpassing the Model S Plaid in raw performance metrics, a new Roadster could serve to re-establish Tesla's leadership in the high-performance EV segment. However, not all ambitious technological visions unfold as planned, a stark reality underscored by a burgeoning class action lawsuit against Toyota regarding its hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, the Mirai. Published on Saturday, July 13, 2025, the report details how hundreds of Mirai owners in California are suing Toyota hydrogen station operator First Element Fuel and others, alleging they were misled about the viability of the hydrogen fueling network. Despite the promise of quick refueling and zero emissions, the infrastructure has largely failed to materialize. California, which once pledged tens of millions to build a network of fueling stations, now has only about 50, and major players like Shell have exited the market, shuttering multiple locations. Compounding the issue, hydrogen prices have tripled, making a full tank cost closer to $200 compared to a previous $70. Plaintiffs like Sam Diana, who still pays nearly $1,100 a month for his $75,000 Mirai that sits unused, and Ricky Yap, who stopped using his car altogether due to long lines and soaring costs, highlight the severe financial and practical burdens on early adopters. Attorney Jason Ingber, representing several Mirai owners, stated, "Toyota is still selling this car. It makes no damn sense. No fuel for drivers. The car doesn't work as advertised." Patrick Peterson, an auto expert at goodcar.com, noted the issue isn't the tech, it's everything around it. The infrastructure just isn't ready. Alex Black, chief marketing officer at EpicVin, added that public sentiment damaged by unreliable infrastructure and previous recall problems has created a vicious circle of reduced demand and investment, ultimately undermining confidence in the technology for personal mobility. While hydrogen may still find its niche in commercial applications for consumers, the Mirai experience serves as a sobering cautionary tale about market readiness and the critical importance of a robust ecosystem supporting innovative technologies. As the dust settles on these significant announcements, the coming months will reveal the true impact of these developments. The proposed Tesla shareholder vote on a bailout for X/XAI will be a crucial test of investor confidence in Musk's multi-company strategy. The performance of Grok, both in terms of its intelligence and its ability to avoid controversial outputs, will dictate XAI's trajectory. Meanwhile, the hydrogen car lawsuit will undoubtedly put pressure on automakers and policymakers to address infrastructure shortcomings before pushing new technologies to market. The narrative emerging from this week is one of ambitious technological leaps encountering significant real-world friction, underscoring the complex interplay between innovation, market dynamics, and public trust. In a remarkable stride for neurotechnology, a paralyzed United States military veteran has revealed an unprecedented return to digital autonomy thanks to the groundbreaking Neuralink
brain-computer interface (BCI) device. This latest development, emerging from the collaborative efforts at the University of Miami Miller School of Medicine's Miami Project to Cure Paralysis, not only underscores the tangible benefits of cutting-edge BCI technology but also signals a profound shift in how humans interact with the digital world, hinting at a future where thought alone can command our devices. The veteran, identified as RJ, who was left paralyzed by a spinal cord injury from a motorcycle accident, is the fifth participant in Neuralink's prime precise robotically implanted brain-computer interface study. Crucially, he is the first to receive his implant at the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis and the Department of Neurological Surgery at UHealth, University of Miami Health System. The PRIME study is a clinical trial designed to assess the safety and functionality of Neuralink's intracortical BCI implant, which creates a wireless digital link directly between the brain and computers. RJ successfully underwent the procedure in April and was discharged the very next day. Since then, he has demonstrated the extraordinary ability to control his computer and smartphone purely with his thoughts, a feat that has significantly enhanced his daily life. Recounting his experience, RJ shared his elation. "They're giving me my spark back, my drive back. They've given me my purpose back." He added, "Now I'm able to turn around and build that fire for the next guys that come through." His newfound abilities extend to playing video games, designing 3D objects, and controlling electronics. He particularly relished the simple yet profound act of turning on his TV for the first time in 2.5 years, calling it pretty sweet. The implant, strategically placed in the brain's movement-responsible section, has even allowed him to play his beloved Call of Duty, remarking, "I like shooting zombies. That's kind of nice." The medical team behind this milestone expressed immense optimism. Dr. Jonathan Jajad, the Miami Project and University of Miami site principal investigator and a professor of clinical neurological surgery, neurology, orthopedics, and rehabilitation, stated, "We are excited as a team to discover how this device has the potential to change people's day-to-day lives. As a doctor and researcher, I continue to be encouraged as we learn more about the capabilities and possibilities of this technology." Dr. Dipen J. Parekh, CEO of the University of Miami Health System, hailed the procedure as a milestone, emphasizing that putting the latest technology into the hands of experts to break boundaries is what academic medicine is all about. Dr. Alan Levi, professor and chair of neurological surgery, added that the collaboration will have an enormous impact on future patients. This collaboration is particularly poignant as the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis celebrates its 40th anniversary. Founded in 1985 by world-renowned neurosurgeon Dr. Barthé Agreen and NFL Hall of Famer Nick Buonaconti, after Nick's son Mark sustained a spinal cord injury, the Miami Project has grown into a leading global research center. Drive W. Dalton Dietrich, scientific director of the Miami Project, underscored the significance. "This collaboration is a testament to our multidisciplinary approach for advancing the latest research in neural interfaces and neurorehabilitation." Mark Buonaconti, president of the Miami Project, echoed this sentiment, noting, "We know this collaboration will be another great step forward and hopefully lead to meaningful results for the millions living with paralysis and other significant motor deficits." Neuralink is actively seeking more participants for the PRIME study, focusing on individuals with limited or no use of both hands due to cervical spinal cord injury or ALS. Beyond the immediate medical breakthroughs, the broader vision for brain-computer interaction is rapidly unfolding, championed by figures like Elon Musk, whose Neuralink venture is a key player. This vision extends into the consumer electronics space with the unexpected launch of the Tesla Pi tablet. While traditional tech giants like Apple quietly release incremental updates, the Pi tablet is poised to redefine personal computing by integrating advanced BCI capabilities and ubiquitous connectivity. The Pi tablet distinguishes itself through several radical features. Foremost is its direct link to the Starlink satellite network, ensuring global internet access with zero dead zones. This capability has been demonstrated in real-world scenarios such as live video calls from research vessels in the Pacific. More astonishingly, the tablet incorporates Neuralink Lite, a non-invasive brain interface that connects via an earpiece. This technology, unlike the surgical implant RJ received, picks up subtle neural signals, intentions, reactions, and directional hints, translating them into actions on the interface. Users can scroll open files and interact with the device simply by thinking, moving human-computer interaction from mechanical input to a more intuitive personal connection. Further enhancing this seamless experience is PiOS, Tesla's innovative operating system built from scratch. PiOS is an intelligent AI environment that learns and adapts to user habits, proactively preparing documents, adjusting settings, and switching language features based on routines or travel. This transforms the device from a mere tool into a perceptive companion, subtly enhancing daily life without constant oversight. Priced at a disruptive $799, the Pi tablet, which also includes a solar charging smart cover and an optional stylus, directly challenges the premium market, notably undercutting Apple's iPhone 17, which debuted at $1,199. This confluence of medical and consumer-focused brain tech signals a profound cultural shift. The focus is no longer merely on faster processors or better cameras, but on mind-tech fusion, planetary communication, and AI intimacy. It reflects a growing consumer demand for technology that not only works but understands, offering freedom from geographical constraints, frictionless creation, and interfaces that feel like natural extensions of the human body. While the journey is just beginning and challenges undoubtedly lie ahead, the advancements by Neuralink and the bold introduction of the Tesla Pi tablet are undeniably moving the goalposts. They are not just iterating on existing concepts, they are laying the groundwork for a fundamentally different digital era where the boundaries between thought and action, human and machine, continue to blur.